Loretta Onoche, a media aide of President Muhammadu Buhari, has again called out the presiding bishop of the Living Faith Church worldwide, David Oyedepo, over the Company and Allied Matters Act, CAMA. Onoche on Monday via her official Twitter handle dropped a bombshell allegation against Bishop Oyedepo's church and Nicholas Mutu, House Committee Chair on Oil and Gas. The Buhari's aide, while stressing that there is a difference between control and regulation and that CAMA aims at regulation, alleged in a tweet that the House Committee Chair on Oil and Gas paid 20 million naira in a day to Oyedepo's church. There is a difference between control and regulation. CAMA aims at regulation, where Nicholas Mutu, House Committee Chair on Oil and Gas, regularly received money from at NDDC online and also paid 20 million naira in a day to Mr. Oyedepo's church. Nigerians want the regulation in place, Onoche tweeted. Recall that Onoche had earlier openly criticized Oyedepo for rejecting the CAMA law, saying it is irrational to subject churches to the same laws as companies. Under CAMA, signed into law on August 7th, religious bodies and charity organizations will be strictly regulated by the Registrar General of the Corporate Affairs Commission (CAC) and a supervising minister. But Oyedepo said the law was born out of the government's jealousy about the prosperity recorded by the church. Reacting in a tweet, Onoche said Oyedepo would have to abide by the government's law as long as he dwells in the country. I hope this is not true. If it is, Oyedepo will have to manufacture his own country and live by his own laws, as long as he lives and operates within the entity called Nigeria. He will live by Nigerian rules and laws. He will do as is told by the law. Enough of lawlessness, she stated. Well, let them go and dig everything out. Whether somebody paid, somebody did not pay. All I know is that everybody must abide by the law, and the government too must abide by the law, because they have laws that are guiding them as well. It's not you trying to execute the laws on the citizens. You have your own role to play. The citizens have their role to play. What I just and I've been saying for some time is that do your part. Anybody who is doing what is against what, against the nature, or is against what God really wants for you, that wants to intimidate you, the person will still face his own judgment or a judgment. That is all I can say. But let's all be let us abide by the laws in the land. We should be responsible in everything we do. But it's just unfortunate that who are you going to be defending? Is it the so-called religious leaders or the government? These people, the people who do not have the interest of the people at heart, forget them. Because the government will still tell you and come and tell you today, oh yes, we are working for the people, we are doing this, we are doing that. Recently, Lai Mohammed just told Ghanas, and just maybe was blowing hot, that Nigerians will not be treated bad. Nigerians, they will not allow it. They will not allow such thing to happen to Nigeria. Nigerians in other countries, talking about what happened in Ghana, that the Nigerians are not being well treated. And the question is that are you even treating your own people well under your nose? And we learned that even these people are collecting. They collected COVID-19 allowances, all these big men. No wonder the so-called, what did they call them, NDDC officials or whatever, they were giving themselves COVID-19 allowances. Meanwhile, the senators and all of them, they collected what is it called, allowances for COVID-19. All those people that have already, they fed themselves, they are overfed to the extent of vomiting, or they have even eaten. They were collecting COVID-19. According to NDDC, IMC, what do they call them? That is a short name for it. They were exposing them. They were the one that exposed them. They even said by the time they expose the looters in this country, most especially in that NDDC, that Nigeria will break. Nigeria will break. So whether the religious leaders to all of them, they have their own shortcomings. Nobody is coming here. Nobody should come here and be telling us, oh, they want to intimidate this, they want to intimidate this. The people who are bearing all this trouble are the masses. You go to the government, the same thing. You go to this other side, manipulations everywhere. Manipulations everywhere. We are not going to be surprised. Some people, they don't even serve God. They make these pastors their gods. The same thing, you will see people who are still coming to defend this government. Oh, government is this, government is that. That is how you are going to see some people still defending the religious leaders. Oh, what are we talking about? So the masses, they are just on their own. You go to this side, there's a manipulation. You go to the other side, manipulation. Where do you now start? No go for yourself. Onoche will come out and be doing pre. The issue of a Kaduna, this thing, she has not talked about it too. What is good for the goose is good for the Ghana. As soon as, in as much you are talking about what is happening at the other side, that you think it will be favorable to the government you are working for, but the other things like the killings going on, she has never said anything, as if she's not in this country, or as if those situations or those matters, they do not worth talking about. You can't talk about them. That is the hypocrisy we are talking about. Let her be out of this government. Our language will change. What is good? When we know that something is right, we will say it right. No matter who's us is God. If the government does something at a particular time, we'll say, oh, it's good. If it is not good, we'll still say it. Whether you are a religious leader, whatever, if what you are doing is not good, it's not good. Because nobody is a saint. We are all human beings. So anybody can fall short of anything. And that's why we are human beings. So this idea, you will not come and tell us, oh, touching not my anointed, this and this and that, or you are talking about the government. If every one of them, the so-called leaders, whether they are religious leaders, whether they are political leaders, if they are doing the right thing, we will not be where we are today. We will not be where we are today. They've all contributed in one way or the other to the suffering that we are going through in this country. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? So let them all go and dig it. We've told them, if you don't understand what the government is trying to say, try and be open-minded and tell the government what you want, what you don't want, and you will come sit on a round table to know the way forward. That is just it. Nobody should come and be threatening everybody on social media or on media. That is just the way it is. What if you do what is right, we'll talk about it. If you do otherwise, we'll still talk about it. None of them has really favored the Nigerian people. None of all those people, the so-called leaders, wherever they are coming from, none of them has, done one or two things. They are favored people. Government will still come and tell you that yes, we have done this. They will sing their own praises to high heavens. Money given to his church as gifts or whatever is no excuse to embarrass the church. Should I walk into a mosque and donate such money for its building? Who cares? It's been on and on in Nigeria. This particular case shouldn't be an exception. Money for charity and worship centers has been like that. The giver is the one that has a problem with the government. Buying a car, houses, and so on as gifts has been a practice, and no time did government speak against it. They should be careful. Someone say 20 million naira per day is a gift. You are high on weed. If there is no criminal receiver, the criminal giver will not be encouraged to continue to steal our commonwealth, to be given to the criminal receiver dressed in religious garbs. Let all of them go and settle their cases, because even the government is not even helping matter. Let them go and settle themselves. So that is the bombshell that this woman has released. Onoche, Loretta Onoche. But Loretta Onoche, please talk about the S-men. Talk about the Southern Kaduna situation. Not only this Kama thing, because you've been on this thing as if that's your life, as if your life depends on it. Talk of people who have lost their lives, who are still losing their lives on a daily basis. You are not saying anything about it. It's not worth talking about. Posterity will judge all of them. Leave your comment, guys, below, and let's know what you think.